All right, thank you, Mataji. Okay, let's go. Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Those who can try, you can follow me, okay? Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Deshatari. One more time. Namaste Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Yeah, very good. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Why don't I sing first, then you follow, at least you know the tune. Okay? Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Vrinda. Okay, so this Maha Mantra, let me sing first, then you follow, okay? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Repeat, everyone.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Very good. One more time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Repeat, everyone. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Wonderful. Thank you, everyone. Oh, it's awesome. Okay, so the reason why we sing some kirtan before we start any auspicious talks or class is because, you know, we all coming back from work, don't know what kind of baggages we have in our mind, whether you're a housewife, you're a working or a student, everybody carries their own baggage. So before we start the class, to derive the maximum benefit, maximum spiritual benefit from this class, we want to calm down our mind first. Okay, when the frequency is too high, the waves don't go too far. Okay, and the wave, when the frequency is low, the waves will go far. So this I have learned from somebody who is an expert in that field. So it's always significant thing to sing some bhajan before we start our class. All right, so with that, thank you again everyone for coming. We will have this slide every day before we start our class. The sloka is the same sloka from Vaishnava Tantriya Sara. Can we have somebody, I don't remember who read on Friday. Is there somebody who would like to volunteer to read today? Pushpa Mataji?
Okay.
Okay, Kenna? Okay.
Yeah. All right. Gita Gyan, essence of Bhagavad Gita. I'll try the Sanskrit one, okay?
Ken Mataji.
Yeah. Devaki Nandana Krishno Gita Pratena Tushyate. Yata na Vedair Danena Yajna Trita Vrittabi
Vritatibihi.
Vrittatabihi. The son of Devaki, the supreme personality of Sri Krishna, cannot be satisfied by anyone's study of the Vedas, charity, sacrifice, pilgrimage, or vows, as much as he is satisfied by the devotional recitation of the Gita. Vaishnavi Tantriya Sara, number 22, is it?
Yes, thank you, Mataji. I love the way you read. Okay, so taking darshan of Lord Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra, they are residing at the presiding deities of Sri Jagannath Mandir, Kuala Lumpur, or ISKCON Kuala Lumpur. Okay, so these are the deities. So let us offer our prayers to the spiritual teachers. So you can silently recite also. Okay. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikna Vinasha Narsimha Iti Namine. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatharine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Tat Sat. The program is dedicated to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai. Okay, let's start reading. Remember, we read one verse from the Gita Mahatmya every day for 7 days. The Gita Mahatmya was spoken by, who remembers? Sripad, Adi Shankar.
Adi Shankara Acharya.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, who would like to read this? It goes like this. Okay, I will recite the Sanskrit with the meter, and you can read the English. So somebody be prepared to read the English, okay? Gita dhyayana shilasya pranayama parasya cha naiva shantihi papani purva janma kritani cha. Who would like to go?
one reads Bhagavad Gita very sincerely and with all the seriousness.
Speak, can read louder, Mataji? Who is that reading? Yamuna Mataji, is it?
No.
Oh, it's me.
Shall I read? Oh, no.
Yes, can.
Okay. If one reads Bhagavad Gita very sincerely and with all seriousness, then by the grace of the Lord, the reactions of his past misdeeds will not act upon him.
All right, so that's it. If you read Bhagavad Gita very nicely, every one of us have misdeeds, okay? Nobody is free of it. So if you regularly read Bhagavad Gita seriously and sincerely, we will not suffer from the reactions of past karma. Okay, so do you remember what is this entire Bhagavad Gita is about? Do you remember the burger slide? Anybody remembers that? I hope you don't feel hungry. It's about bhakti. How many sections? How many sections, Matajis and Prabhus? 3, isn't it? Yeah. So what was the first section about? Achieving bhakti through?
Through work.
Through work. Nice.
Yes.
The middle section is about?
Bhakti.
Very good. Bhakti. The final section about achieving bhakti through?
Knowledge.
Knowledge. Jnana Yoga. Very nice. Very good. Okay. Question time. Do you all remember what we did on Friday? What was the first section? Remember? Yeah. What was it about? We introduced Bhagavad Gita, certain things about Bhagavad Gita, right? Very important features.
700 verses.
Okay, 700 verses. What else?
And the Kauravas and the Pandavas, the Kurukshetra.
Okay, the location.
Yes. And then the reasons why the Pandavas did not want to fight against the Kauravas. The CESDI.
Not yet. Oh, sudah jauh, Mataji.
Jauh. Lari lah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so remember number of slokas, who spoke. We are still there. We belum sampai to the Dhritarashtra and Sanjaya yet.
Dhritarashtra spoke 1.
Yes. Okay.
Sanjaya 4.
Oh wow, really? I think he spoke more, right?
41.
41.
Okay. Oh, very nice. I didn't expect the details. All right, very good, Mataji. Okay, Prabhu. All right, so can explain the relationship between Dhritarashtra, Sanjaya, some important things about Sanjaya.
Krishna spoke 154.
No problem, Prabhu. Don't worry about the numbers.
Sanjaya is the secretary to Dhritarashtra.
Correct. Yes, he's the secretary to Dhritarashtra. So what is the special feature of Sanjaya?
He has the gift of seeing from afar.
Yes.
Yes. Who blessed him with that gift?
Why?
His guru.
His guru, right?
His guru Vyasa.
Srila Vyasadeva. Very nice.
Vyasa.
Okay. Yeah, very nice. Very good. So remember, there's one important point I made about Dhritarashtra. He was not only bereft of material vision, but he was also
Blind.
Like spiritually
spiritually blind. Very good. Okay, very nice. Okay, and then we went to the blowing of trumpet.
conch shells.
Conch shells. Okay. So can somebody tell me something about these conch shells?
Blind.
Anything?
Yeah, this is the part that I like because where now I see the significance of the blowing of the conch shells in the center or in temples. It's to shatter our ego, to bring us down to so we have this humility within us.
Wow, very nice realization, Mataji. Thank you for that. Okay. Anybody else who like to comment on this blowing of conch shells?
They have names.
Yes. Do you remember, Prabhu?
Not really.
Okay, Krishna blew the conch shell named Panchajanya. And then Arjuna blew his conch shell Devadatta. Very nice. Next they had Bhima, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bhima blew his conch shell called?
Poundra.
Yeah, it's very good. Poundra, yes. So what is the 2 qualities of Bhima mentioned in that verse that day?
Voracious eater.
Voracious eater.
Performer of Herculean tasks.
Oh my God, you all have photography memory. I think it's the best batch I had. Okay, I think today's class can finish in half an hour.
Thank you.
Okay, and then what happened? Okay, so there was an indication that the Kaurava's heart felt shattered with the sound, tumultuous sound that from the conch shell blown by the Pandavas, Krishna and Pandavas. Okay, so what happened? What Arjuna told Krishna and what Krishna did?
Arjuna told Krishna to drive to the middle of the plains to see
Very
everyone.
nice.
No, before that.
Correct. I think did we miss anything after the conch shell?
Yeah, he told he don't want to fight, right?
Yeah.
Not yet. After that, isn't it?
Oh,
Bulum.
Bulum.
Okay. So he brought the chariot in between two armies. So what Arjuna saw and why Arjuna wanted to go to the middle of the army?
To see
Two
who
armies.
he's going to
Who is
battle.
his opponent?
Who is his opponent? Who is he going to fight with? Who is so bent over fighting? And then?
To estimate the strength as well.
Yes, to estimate the strength of the opponent, even though he knows Krishna on his side. So no problem on that. Now comes the dramatic part. So what happened when Arjuna saw the relatives and the friends? He felt some things, right? What do we call that?
Emotional.
Symptoms.
It's full of compassion.
Arjuna symptoms, is it?
Symptoms, yes. How many?
5.
10.
10. Anybody can remember any of those?
Limbs are quivering, mouth drying up,
quivering, limbs trembling, mouth
body
quivering,
trembling, skin
skin
burning,
burning.
Go
Gandhava
sleep down.
Gandiva sleeping
Gandiva
down.
sleeping, yes.
Mind reading.
Mind reeling. Final one. He's losing
What's that?
composure, isn't it? Okay. Can I have a show of hand? Who has Bhagavad Gita as it is in their hand? You can put in the chat. Just put like me like that. Okay, so I will catch up on that. All right. So after he exhibited these certain symptoms, all right, Arjuna. Okay, Yamuna Mataji has that. Okay. All right. So what happened? What did he further spoke to Krishna?
He gave the reasons for not fighting.
Yes. How many?
5.
Okay. Can I have all those 5 now? It's called SASD in short. Can I have them in full?
Oh, the
Compassion for
CSD.
friends. Compassion for friends.
CESD.
Compassion for friends and relatives. Yes.
No
Fear of
enjoyment.
reaction.
Even if
No.
Victory.
No enjoyment even if he emerges victorious.
Fear of sinful reactions.
Fear of sinful
Destruction
reaction.
of family
Destruction of
Destruction
family
of family
traditions.
traditions.
Destruction of
Family
tradition.
tradition.
family tradition. Very nice. Okay.
Indecision.
Okay, so we covered 4 in chapter 1, and now we're going to cover the 5th one in chapter 2. So with that, we are entering this chapter contents of Gita summarized. Okay, I would like to state that this chapter 2 is a very condensed version of the entire Bhagavad Gita in one chapter. So, but today's focus mostly will be on the soul and the body, and slightly we will touch on Karma Yoga because Krishna will elaborate more on Karma Yoga in chapter 3. So we will cover probably 2-3 verses only. All right. So having said that, it may get technical, but don't worry. I'll try to make it simple. So compared to the chapter 1, which was much lighter, so we need to be a little bit more attentive here. All right. Okay. So like I mentioned, a lot of things has been compressed inside this chapter, starting with Sankhya Yoga is an analysis of. Okay, somebody's mic is noisy, right? So Sankhya Yoga means analysis between body and soul. That is Sankhya Yoga. And then Krishna will go and touch on Karma Yoga. He will touch on Buddhi Yoga also. Buddhi Yoga is in between Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. So don't worry about these terms. We will, by end of 18th chapter, you will know already all these different yogas. Okay, it has a Jnana Yoga and has Bhakti Yoga. But we will not cover a lot of Jnana Yoga. Okay, we will cover Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga. Okay, so these are the things that we recapped just now. Okay, the SASD. So you will see here the indecision is coming in the verse 2.6. Okay, so I brought in 2.6 here, and we will see why. What is it that Arjuna could not decide? Okay, can somebody read this English? There is no Sanskrit verse here. There's only English here. Sam,
No, do we know Nor do
Yes,
we
sorry,
know,
sorry. Carry on.
nor do we know which is
Oh
better.
my God, Sam Prabhu is here. I've been calling you Mataji.
It's okay.
So
What's the
sorry,
difference? Sorry, I
Prabhu.
don't
So
understand the
sorry.
difference. Nor do we
Okay.
know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. If we kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live. Yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield.
Yes. So thank you, Prabhu. So what is the indecision between what choices? What were the choices that Arjuna couldn't, choose from?
Conquering them or being conquered by them.
Very nice. So this is the dilemma that Arjuna has been having. So he came to, so in text 4 earlier, I would like to make a link here, you see. I want to make a link here before this 2.4 and 2.5. In text 4, Arjuna will say, "O killer of enemies, O killer of Madhu, how can I counterattack with arrows in battle men like Bhishma and Drona who are worthy of my worship?" So at this point, you can see already he has some soft spot for the grandsires in the family. Okay, he values them, he respects them so much. Okay, so that's the feeling is because of that. All right, in text 5, he will say, "It would be better to live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of the lives of great souls who are my teachers." Okay, these are the teachers. Even though desiring worldly gain, they are superiors. So he's aware that they are at the wrong side, okay, Duryodhana's side, because of some attraction to the wealth that Duryodhana has. Okay, so they know they are doing things and that not so good, right? Unjust things. And Arjuna is aware that they are doing that. They are fully aware what are they doing, and yet they are at the bad side. And yet Arjuna still feels compassionate towards them. And he says, if they are killed, everything we enjoy will be tainted with blood. Okay, so these are all his basis for his compassion, indecision. And then finally he says, I don't know whether we should be conquering them or be conquered by them. Okay, and they are there ready to fight us. So he's at this junction. So what do you do when you can't decide? Have you been in this situation recently, and how did you solve it? Anybody would like to share? Just one person will do, and then we can move on. What do you do?
Weigh the pros and cons.
Okay, you weigh it, all right? And then let's say you have 50% or 50% here, 50% here. What do you do? You can't decide, really can't decide.
Follow the heart.
Follow the instinct.
Okay, if we're to follow the instinct of Arjuna, he doesn't want to fight. But he knows he has to fight because these people, they are on the wrong side.
Ask others to decide for me.
Ask?
Ask others to decide for me.
Ask others to decide for you. Okay, can you give an example of these others?
Like I usually ask my mom. So
ask advice. Yes.
Ask advice from others. Yeah. People are close to you. Ask advice from them. Yeah.
Very good. I'm sorry. I think I accidentally set the chatting to reply to me. So you all can't see that so many people replying here. I'm so sorry. All right. Asking others is a good point. All right. That's what he did. He did this. He asked Krishna, what shall I do? Okay. Somebody be prepared to read the English. I will recite the Sanskrit. Okay. This is a slightly longer one. Karpanya dosho bahata svabhavah prachami tvam dharma sammuddha chetah yatreya shanishitam brohitanme sishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. Sishya means I am a disciple. Shadi means instruct me. Okay, so who can read this translation please first?
Now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because misery is there.
Is that Kartini Mataji? Kartini Mataji, could you come closer to the mic or something?
Can you hear me now?
I can't hear you. I think we can slightly. Carry on, Mataji, carry on.
Now I'm confused about my duty
and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I'm asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me.
Yes. So he thank you, Mataji. So he admits that he's confused, okay? And he says why that is happening, because of his miserly weakness. Miserly weakness happens when there is attachment to the body. You're not able to decide, okay, clearly. And this condition, I'm surrendering myself to you as a disciple. Please instruct me. This is a very important turning point, because what was the relationship between Arjuna and Krishna prior to this? What are they? Who are they
Cousins,
related to each other?
No,
Cousins? Yeah, cousins, yes. What else? How was their relationship?
best friends.
Yes, friends. So when you say you're friends, what was the relationship like?
Quite close, they're best friends, right?
Close, very casual, isn't it? So at this point, the relationship is changing from being casual, dear friends, to what?
disciple,
If there is a disciple, then
Master.
there is a guru, master. So now the relationship has changed from friends to disciple and guru. Okay, so basically the point that this verse is making is Arjuna's intelligence got bewildered. Arjuna is not an ordinary person. Okay, he is a great archer. All right, Arjuna's intelligence got bewildered in trying to understand the implementation of dharma. He doesn't know which is dharma at this point. Therefore, he submits himself as a disciple of Krishna, seeking his guidance. Okay, so at least that he is intelligent to know, intelligent to be aware that he needs to seek guidance, and he's seeking the guidance from the right person. There cannot be a more right person than Krishna at that point there. All right, so that is the best decision he's taken. All right, he admits his flaws, his shortcomings, his weakness, and he's seeking advice from Krishna. All right, so now the topic opens on soul. Come on, so let's speak your mind. What do you think? What is a soul to you? What is soul to you? What is your knowledge about soul?
It cannot
What
be
is a soul?
destroyed.
Cannot
Be destroyed.
be destroyed. Okay, very nice.
Has always existed in all yugas.
Okay, eternal, right? Right, anybody else? Don't worry about you're going wrong or right. Nobody's going to judge you. We are all here to learn. Okay, when we make mistakes, we learn more. Okay. Come, let's try Janani Mataji. What do you think about soul? What is your opinion about soul? Suha, can you share what you think about soul?
Soul is something that's in you that you can't see.
Right. Soul is something that's inside us that we can't see. Nice, Suha. Thank you. Param Prabhu. Oh, Sam Prabhu, your baby wants to speak.
The life force energy that's inside us.
Life force energy that's inside us. Wonderful. Anybody has a different answer? Okay, I think most of us, we are pretty much have some fundamental understanding on soul. Okay, let me bring this picture. So that is this guy who got a parrot and he put in a nice silvery cage. So what he did was every day he cleans up, he polishes the cage very nicely, like so shiny, like mirror shine cage. All right, and then he cleans the cage. He takes care of the cage very well. After 1 week, the parrot died. He took care of the cage very well, but the parrot died. What could have happened?
No freedom.
No freedom for the parrot. Okay, what else?
The parrot's time is up.
And parrot's time is up. Wonderful. Very high philosophy. Yes,
He took care of the cage, but not the parrot.
Yes. As in how? How he didn't take care of the parrot?
probably didn't give it love or didn't feed it, or just cleaning the cage will not take care of the parrot, right? The parrot has to be fed, it has to be nourished.
Correct. It's not fed, it's not nourished. Okay. All right. The parrot starved and then it died. So apply that to our body. What happens if we take care of our body, this cage, and we neglect about nourishing the soul, feeding the soul? Okay, so we will lose the soul. We need to nourish the soul, feed the soul. How do we nourish it? We will talk about it later. But the important part is that the living force that was inside the parrot, as in the parrot, was not taken care. It left the cage. So if we do not take care of the living force that's inside us, it will leave the body. All right. So we spend so much of time taking care of the cage, but not the soul inside the cage. Okay, so with that, we will open this sloka. And so far, nobody has volunteered to read this, but I have shared the audio. Did anybody try to recite this? Would like to give it a try now? And somebody?
I can, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji, Kartini Mataji.
Okay. Denino smim yatna dehi kaumaram yauvanam jara tata dehantara praptir dira satrana muhyati. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change.
All right, thank you, Kartini Mataji. Okay, so this verse is very important verse. This is like the ABC of Bhagavad Gita, okay? So the most important part is talking about how the soul is moving, all right? Moving, changing the body. So in the same body, the soul is changing from boyhood to youth to old age. Up to a certain time, it sheds the body and then it moves on to another body. So like this, it will go on and on and on until the existence is purified. Okay, so it's been going on for millions of years. All right, so we have come very long. We have come very far, actually, in fact. All right. So when the soul moves from babyhood to boyhood to youthhood to old age and then die. So we take it as a natural process, isn't it? It's normal for the soul to move from boy's body, baby's body to boy's body, youth's body, old age. Okay, nobody laments that, oh, I've grown up, I'm so sad. Nobody feels sad about it. Similarly, when the soul leaves the body to another body, Krishna said that such person will not lament for that changes. And that is what he defines as a sober person. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change because it is a natural process. And this is Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga means analytical study on the difference between body and soul. This is Sankhya Yoga. Okay, that changing bodies is natural. Okay, so he's telling Arjuna, the nature of the body is that the nature of the body and soul is the body will change, the soul will remain there. Okay, so can we recap on that? Can you give me the progress of the changing soul, the soul changing body? From boyhood. From boyhood, yes.
To young to adulthood.
To youthhood.
To old age.
To old age. And then what happens to the youth, to the soul?
Change body.
It gets a
New body.
New body. Very nice. Okay. So this is how Krishna is addressing the first reason Arjuna gave. What was the first reason?
Compassion.
Compassion. Yes. So he said, why are you worried about the destroying body? the soul does not get destroyed. Okay, so we will move on some more. Okay, so that is the compassion. And he said the soul changes body like what, right? There's an example. Okay, so we have somebody to recite this sloka for us. Suha, welcome.
Okay. Vasamsi jirnani yata vihaya navani grahanati naroparani tata sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani samyati navani dehi.
Very
As
beautiful.
a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones.
Very good. Thank you, Suha. Wonderful, beautiful. Okay, so how do we change bodies? How do we change bodies? Like
changing clothes.
Changing garment.
Like we change clothes. Okay, Sam Prabhu, one day how many clothes you change?
About
Morning,
3, 4.
probably you go to office. Yeah, 3, 4. One day we change 4 clothes. All right, so Krishna gives an analogy for the soul. That is simply a change of clothes. So can you imagine how many clothes a soul may have? Okay, I give you the answer later. All right, so change of body is compared to change of dress. So this, another name for this is transmigration. The soul transmigrate from one body into another body. Okay, so just like how we are going to get new bodies in the future, we have taken various bodies in the past. It may not necessarily be human body. It could be any body. Okay, so we take up new body and give up the old body. All right, so at this point, I would like to say that somebody earlier shared that the soul is in ourselves, in our body. Who was that? Can you tell me who was it just now? What was the exact line you mentioned earlier? Was it Kartini? Or Suha, right? Suha, you mentioned something about soul inside us.
Yeah, I said that soul is something that's inside us that we cannot see.
Okay, the soul is inside us and we cannot see that. All right, so in an Upanishad, there are so many Upanishads. Okay, generally there are 4 Vedas. Okay, you all know, right? Yajur, Rik, Atharva, and Sama. So each Vedas will have a number of Upanishads. Like some Veda will have 10 Upanishads, some Vedas will have a different number of Upanishads. So each Upanishad will touch on specific field. So there's one Upanishad will touch on soul. There's one Upanishad will touch on body. One Upanishad will touch on, the 5 elements, earth, fire, ether, so all that. So in this Upanishad, particularly called Mundaka Upanishad, it is mentioned that the soul is situated in the region of the heart. Okay, note the point that it is not in the heart, it's at the region of the heart. All right, later we will see the size of the heart. Okay, size of the soul. Okay, so changing bodies is similar to changing clothes. Okay, how big is your wardrobe? Who shall I ask? Yamuna Mataji, roughly how many saris you might have?
Oh, wrong person. I don't have.
Okay, all right. Okay, tell me how many dress you have in your wardrobe, or maybe.
Okay, to fit 1 month, I think. Okay, about 30.
Okay, very nice. Okay, anybody can take a guess. Our soul, how many bodies it may change? What is the size of our soul's wardrobe? Okay, Vasanti Jirnani said that we are changing body like clothes, and we have this many clothes. All right, so we're talking about millions of years, millions of lifetimes. So how many bodies we have been actually changing? Just give me a few hundred million. Okay, anybody else?
Infinite?
Infinite? No. Maybe infinite times, yes. But the species of life is not infinite. There is a particular number. 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 10 million. No gift lah, sorry. if you are having face-to-face class, surely I give
800 million?
800 million. No, not so many lah, Mataji.
33 million.
Okay, so
Is it that 8,400,000?
Yes. Okay. So in Padma Purana, it is mentioned that it's 8.4 million. Some places it says 8.6 million. So it is there is a verse like this: Jalaja Nava Lakshani. Jalaja Nava Lakshani means there are 900,000 species of aquatics. Then Stavara Laksha Vimsati. Stavara means in Tamil it's plants, isn't it? So plants, 2 million species of plants. You don't have to remember this. I'm just giving you some additional information. All right. And there is Karmayo Rudra Sankhya is 1.1 million species of insects, worms, reptiles. Pakshinam Dasa Lakshana. What is Pakshi?
Bird.
Birds. Yes. Very nice. 1 million species of birds. What else? Trimsa Lakshani Pasavaha. 3 million species of animals. Finally, Chatur Lakshani Manusaha. Manusaha means?
Humans, is it?
Humans, yes. You know why I'm asking? Because we can relate to either our Tamil language or Malay language, all right? Chatur Lakshani Manusaha means 400,000 species of humans. So it's been a great deal for us to come to be in this form. Yes. And not only that, how many are sitting in Gita Gyan classes, Matajis and Prabhus? So you are 1 in million. All right. So these are some of these species may exist on this planet and may not be existing on another planet. Some species of life may be existing on other planets. They may not be existing in our planet. There are species of life on the sun planet as well. We cannot think, oh, it's so hot, it might burn. No. All right, there are living entities in all the planets. So these are all 8.4 million, 8.6 million species of life. So this is the verdict of Vedic literatures. Okay, so we will move on to some more interesting facts about the soul. All right, so we do not have Sanskrit sloka for this. It's all English. So can we have somebody to read 2.23? Later, another person for 2.24, another person for 2.25. I would like to request, if you are reading, can you read it very slowly so it sinks into us, all right? Okay, should I call the name or how? Brinda Mataji, have you read today?
I can read now, Mataji.
Okay.
The soul can never be cut into pieces by any weapon, nor burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor heated by the wind. 2.23.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So these are the things. It is knife-proof, waterproof, fireproof, windproof. Okay, nobody can take out the soul from the body and slice it with a knife. No, you can't blend it. You can't do that, and you can't burn it. Okay, you can't put it in water and dilute it. All right, and you can't, you know, if the wind blows, the soul doesn't jump out from the body, so it doesn't happen like that. All right, so 2.24.
Let me try. This individual soul is unbreakable and insoluble and can be neither burned nor dried. He is everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. So you can't break it. Okay, you can't dilute it again, insoluble. You cannot burn it or dry it. All right, and it's everlasting, means it's eternal, eternally with us. Changing body, keep changing. You change the body, he goes on and on and on and on. He present everywhere. All right, unchangeable. So it doesn't change to anything. It doesn't mutate or anything like that. Okay, immovable. Again, you know, if the wind blows, it doesn't move from the body. Okay, eternally the same. It's always the same. It doesn't mutate, get mutated. All right, 2.25.
It is said that the soul is invisible, inconceivable, and immutable. Knowing this, you should not grieve for the body.
Yeah, these are all, thank you, Prabhu. These are all the great qualities of the soul. Why it is said invisible? Because of the size of the soul. Okay, if Can somebody mute? Okay. Okay, so I don't have the Upanishad's name here. The Upanishad says that if you take the tip of your hair, if at all you are successful in taking the tip of your hair, imagine that, you have to do some imagination here. You cut that into 100 pieces, okay, and then you take that the 100 pieces, you cut that again into 100 pieces. So the size of the soul is 1/10,000 of the tip of the hair. Okay, again, the size of the soul is 1/10,000 of the tip of the hair. So it is so tiny that you can't use the most powerful microscope to see the soul. All right, that is why it is said invisible, inconceivable. It means it's invisible to material eyes. Okay, so that Upanishad name is Svetasvatara Upanishad. Okay, I read that sloka, right? When the upper point of a hair is divided into 100 parts, and again, each of such parts is further divided into 100 parts, each such part is the measurement of the dimension of the spirit soul. Right? This is the size of the soul. So I hope you have learned something new. Okay, so try to remember this. And the best way to remember new information is by repeating that to about 4 people. So that's how we remember. Okay, so this speaks about the eternity of the soul, how the soul is eternal. Because if any of this has to happen to the soul, then the soul is not eternal. Okay, so the eternity of the soul is not something new or not something only exclusive for Hinduism or Bhagavad Gita or Krishna's teaching, but it has been proven through many books by many authors. Okay, so there are over 100 books proving reincarnation today. Okay, so there are children who remember previous lives and life before life, children's past lives. Okay, so today I want to tell a short story about such history. This girl's name is Shukla. Okay, after a certain age, like 5 years old, she started speaking about that she has a different name, that she has a husband, that she has a father-in-law, mother-in-law, that she has children. And she kept mentioning about a place that the family never been to, and none of the family members have been to that place, and they never came from that place, obviously. So it's a very new name that she's been mentioning. So initially they rubbished her talks, thinking that she's just fantasizing or imagining things, knowing kids. But later she was so persistent that they decided, the father and along with the 5 other family members, they decided to take her to the place that she was mentioning after they realized that there is this place existing. Okay, the place name is Batpara. So the father and the family members took her to this town or village. I can't exactly recall. So when they arrived there, when they touched down, this little girl, she's barely 5 years old, I think. She took the lead and started walking in front of them. She's never been to that place. Definitely the parents know they have not been to that place. She walked and walked and walked. Suddenly she went to a house. She directly took them to a house. And she went in and she actually could recognize her husband. She called him by name. And then she started calling the children's name with their name and as well as the nickname. And then she also can recognize the father-in-law and the mother-in-law. I mean, she was calling them as the father-in-law, mother-in-law. All right, she called them by their names and nicknames. And then on top of that, she actually went to a particular spot in the house and she dig out a hidden drawer under the floor that she kept some money there. And when she opened it, the box was empty. There's no money in, but she know that she kept some money there. All right, so all these were very something unusual for her to know by herself. All right, and definitely nobody told her about that. So this is one of the proven story about previous life is existing. Okay, And there are other stories also. I think there's a lot on YouTube as well. In level 2, we have some other interview, like live interviews as well. That girl, she died in a fire accident in the house, and she remembers that in her next life, which is her current life. So like this, we have so many stories. Well, this does not happen every time, but it does happen, right? Sometimes. So it's a very big topic. We will not go more into that. Okay. So at this point, our topic on body versus soul ends here. Okay, but it doesn't end in the Bhagavad Gita per se. Krishna will talk about it more in subsequent chapters. So now we are entering the Karma Yoga section. Okay, so everybody okay? So silent. Everybody okay?
Yes.
Everybody? Okay, thank you. All right, so we are moving to the next sloka on Karma Yoga. Krishna is going to touch about 2-3 slokas only on Karma Yoga. Can we have somebody read the English? Just English will do. So here Krishna is talking about, Krishna already spoke about you don't have to worry about you killing people. When you kill your respected gurus like Drona and Bhishma, it's very important that it's very significant thing for people to die while they fight in a raw war. All right. So either they will get new bodies, fresh bodies, okay, or they will go to the heavenly planets, and again they will get a better body, a younger body, a fresh body. So in that way, in that manner, you actually should be happy that you're actually doing them a favor by getting them a new body. Okay. And because they are dying in the battlefield, so they will attain heavenly planets. Okay, so this is not the, okay, I don't want to go into that. It's not like jihad, all right? Okay, this is a dharma war, dharmic war. Okay, so now Krishna is telling you, so you need to do your duty. So how do you do your duty? This is what Krishna is teaching now. Can somebody read for us, please?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So there are a few points here. You will see here. Do your duty. You have to do your duty. Krishna never said, okay, Arjuna, you are so compassionate, you are so kind. I think you should just go and retire to the mountain or cave and just, do meditate, end your life. Krishna never said that. Okay, he is not also saying that to us. Okay, I'm going to sit down and chant and pray 24/7. No, Krishna is not saying that. Krishna is very practical in this sense. But the catch is that when you do your duty, you are not to be attached to the fruits of your action. Okay, the consciousness should be changed. You have to tweak your consciousness. Your limbs are doing the work. Your senses are doing the work. You cannot say it, senses do not work. No, right? You are going to continue doing your work, but your consciousness is to be changed, that you're not attached to the fruits of your action. Never consider yourself the cause of the result of your activity. So most of the time we think it happened because of me. I made that happen. I am the doer. I am the controller. So it's always the I-ness. So in this point, in this verse, Krishna is making this point. Do not think that you are the doer. At the same time, okay, Krishna, if I do my duty, I'm going to incur karmic reactions. So I think I don't want to perform any of my duty. I'm just going to sit silently. And Krishna says that never be attached to not doing your duty. So you will not incur sins by doing your duty. You will incur sin by not doing your duty. Okay, so that is the point here. All right, so this is Karma Yoga. And then Krishna brings us to Bhakti Yoga. Can we have somebody to read first?
Shall I?
Yes, Mataji.
Oh my. Dhananjaya. Dhananjaya, is it?
Yes. Oh, Dhananjaya.
Oh, Dhananjaya. Keep all abominable activities far distant by devotional service. And in that consciousness, surrender unto the Lord. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So again, I'm saying this chapter 2 is a condensed version. All this will be expanded and elaborated later. Sometimes Arjuna will ask question also, because he may think he may sound like he's not, getting it. Actually, he's trying to clarify it for us. So all this will happen later in the conversation. Okay, so this is a very condensed version of Bhakti Yoga. Krishna is saying, this part here, avaram karma. Avaram karma means except for work in devotion, except for the work in devotion performed for Krishna's pleasure, all other activities are abominable, because all other activities will give us reactions, which is keeping us in the repeated cycle of birth and death. Whether it's a good activity or it's a bad activity, for good activity, you're going to get good karma. For bad activity, we're going to get bad karma. So in either way, we are going to come back again and again to enjoy the good karma, or we're going to come back again and again to suffer the bad karma. So this one also we will elaborate later, because there are different karmas. Okay, so the only way to stop these cycles to engage in devotional service. Devotional service will not give any reactions. In fact, pure devotional service will burn karmas, will burn our sins from millions of lives. Okay, so Krishna is saying, by performing Bhakti Yoga, which is by performing this war, which is instruction from Krishna. That means whatever instruction that we follow, whatever instruction from Krishna that we follow, it is Bhakti Yoga. So he is telling Arjuna, perform this, and even though you may seem like killing people, but the reactions will not affect you. Okay, but those who are doing work to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers. This is Krishna's statement. Okay, so for those who's doing this, they will not be affected by miseries. So I will explain this one here in the red font. Can we have somebody to, you can try to recite, or you can just jump into the English translation. How about Tatwa Mataji? Are you there? Are you available to read?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, Mataji.
For one thus satisfied in Krishna consciousness,
Sorry.
It's okay. For one thus satisfied in Krishna consciousness, the threefold series of material exists no longer. In such satisfied consciousness, one's intelligence is soon well established.
Okay, so thank you, Mataji. So being in this material world, we cannot escape from these threefold miseries of material existence. Okay, so I will explain what is this threefold misery that Krishna mentioned here. There are three ways we can suffer in this material world. One is by our own mind and body. We inflicting pain to ourselves mentally and bodily. Second, pain inflicted on us by other living entities. Like, what is the very reason other living entity that's been affecting us?
COVID.
Yeah, COVID. Aedes, animals, insects, mosquitoes. So all these are miseries brought to us by other living entities. The third one is natural disasters. So we go one by one, okay? Adi Daivika. Adi Daivika means distress caused by material nature. What was the reason disaster that we had in Malaysia?
Flood, disaster.
Yes, flood, right. Adhyatmika, distress pertaining to body and mind. We sendiri cari masalah. We other cause our own suffering. Okay, next is Adi Bautika. What did I still left out? If you have listened to me earlier.
Distress caused by another person. Other
distress
person.
caused
Living
by
entities.
other living entities. Thank you for listening. Yeah, you're right. Other living entities could be other humans, not only animals. Okay, so that's a good example. All right. So Krishna say those who are involved in Bhakti Yoga, they will not, because they already realized that they are soul, they are not the body. So when they have such a realization, the perfection of that realization, then these threefold miseries will not be affecting their peace. All right, even though we cannot avoid this. All right, everybody gets to go through this. However, this will not disturb them. This is what Krishna is trying to say. Okay, so can remember, right? There's three. Adi Bhautika, we are troubled by. Adi Bhautika means we are troubled by other living entities. Okay, Adi Atmika, condition on account of the body and the mind. Adi Daivika means distress given by material nature. It could be scarcity of food, over rain, scarcity of rain, overheat, less heat, extreme winter, extreme cold. So all these Adi Daivika. So we are at the end of the chapter. Okay, so we're going to have a quick recap. Do you remember what we first did? How did we start the chapter? Remember the I? What happened? Everybody? What happened? The I. Kush Mataji? Kush means happy. Happy Mataji. Mataji are not there. How about Suha? What was the first thing that we covered today?
We recap Friday's.
Okay.
So we started with indecision.
Indecisiveness of Arjuna and what he did?
Confused.
Okay, confused.
He surrendered himself as a disciple.
Yes, he
Yes, to the
surrendered to
master.
Krishna. Very nice. Okay, so how Krishna started talking to him?
Definition of soul?
Yes. So what is it about the soul?
That
In 2 points that
he
Soul,
can always get another
will
body.
change body.
Very good. Soul changes bodies. After that, we went to the wardrobe section. What was that about?
By changing clothes.
Changing of soul to soul.
Changing garments.
So the body changed the soul or the soul changed the body?
Soul change
Soul
body.
Change the body.
Soul changed the body like
Changing clothes.
we change clothes. Very nice. After that, what else we learn about soul?
And indestructible.
Okay, thank you, Hari Prabhu. Yes, ask advice. And that the changing of the soul changing body is also called
Transmigration.
very good. Transmigration. Okay, I'm sorry, somebody was saying something. What did we cover after that?
How huge the soul is, how big the soul is. Is it?
So what was that? What is it coming under? What qualities of the soul? Very good.
Oh.
Yes, characteristics of the soul. Can somebody give some of the qualities?
Cannot be cut by any weapon.
Yes,
Fireproof, waterproof, windproof.
fireproof, waterproof. Yes,
Not movable.
not movable,
Unbreakable,
Cannot
omnipresent,
see.
Solid.
invisible,
Not visible.
insoluble, invisible, yeah,
Immutable.
immutable. Okay, and such a tiny 1/10,000 the tip of the hair, it generates the entire machine here, as small as ant, as huge as elephant. All right, so the power of that soul is so inconceivable. All right, so one of the quality is inconceivable. Cannot imagine. Wow, can man like that, right? All right. Okay. After that, Krishna moved to Karma Yoga. So what did he say about? Okay, Krishna, Arjuna, don't worry. You are going to give them new bodies. So you have to continue doing your duty. In what manner? In what manner? Should he do the duty? Okay, if I die here, I'm going to get heavenly planets. If I
Younger body.
What is Krishna's? What did Krishna say? Perform your duty
In the results.
without. Sorry, repeat that, please.
Results.
Yes, very good. Without expecting the fruits. Very good.
Of
Very
your
nice.
action.
This group is really awesome. Okay. After that, then he went into Bhakti Yoga. What did he say? What Krishna say?
Devotion
Avoid.
wipes out the karma.
Very good.
to
What kind of activities Krishna told him? Avoid abominable activities by working for Krishna. So if a person attained perfection in this mentality or state of mind, what is his what he achieves, what he gets?
You will
He will not
burn the
be
karma.
No rebirth. No rebirth.
no.
Burn his karmas. It will burn his karmas.
Okay, I think that's still 2.49. After that,
The fruits of the work.
so a person who is satisfied, engaged in devotional service, what he is not disturbed about?
Oh, the fruits of his work. No.
Will burn his karmas.
Okay, okay. Some more. He will not be affected by something. What is that?
His karmas, right?
Okay, yes. Okay, after that, so we have to move on from there.
Miseries.
Yes, a satisfied person is not affected by threefold misery. He's not disturbed. Very good. Yes, Hari Prabhu, very nice. So what are those miseries?
Adi Daivika.
All right. Daivika means?
Mystics.
Stress caused by material nature.
Okay, material nature. Yes, correct. Very good. Okay, someone? Adhyatmika.
Body and mind.
Okay, caused by our own body and mind. One more.
Natural disaster.
You are so
By living
wonderful.
entities.
Very nice. Did you write that down? Oh, it's so good. Okay, very nice. Thank you so much. I tell you, this is awesome. Okay. All right, so it is already 9:33. I'm so sorry. I have one story to go. So if anybody has to leave, you can leave, or whoever wants to stay, you can stay. I'm going to narrate one story. Okay, I think because our interaction, it got overshot. Is it okay? Or should I tell the story tomorrow?
Okay, Mataji, tell today.
Today, okay, sorry. Okay, so this is Ambarisha Maharaj today. Okay, sure, thank you. This is Ambarisha Maharaj. Okay, this picture here. Can somebody tell me what 3 things you can observe from this picture? 3 things will do. This is Sudarshana Chakra. Okay, it's glowing here. So this king is actually stopping the chakra from doing something. And then can you see somebody is holding his feet? Yes. Okay. I just mute the mics because it's pretty distracting me. Okay. All right. So what happens? Oh gosh, again. Okay, thank you. Lakshmi Brinda Mataji. Just take care of it. All right, thank you. Okay, so this Ambarisha Maharaj is a king. All right, even though despite being a king, he spends all his life and all his senses and limbs in serving the Lord. Okay, how what he does is that he fixes his mind on the lotus feet of the Lord Krishna. He uses his words to describe the glories of the Lord, the abode of the Lord. His hands he used to cleanse the temple, Krishna temple. His ears, he utilized them in hearing the pastimes of the Lord. His eyes, he uses them to see the deities of Lord Krishna. Okay, the body, he uses to touch the body of devotees, association with devotees. His nostrils, he is smelling the flavor of the flowers and incense offered to Krishna. Okay, his tongue in tasting the tulsi leaf and food offered to Krishna. Okay, his legs traveling to holy places where Krishna's temples are situated. His head, he utilizes it by offering obeisances to Lord Krishna. And his desires, he is not devoid of desires. Whatever desires he had, he fulfills the desires. He uses the desire to fulfill the desires of the Lord, for the pleasure of the Lord. So all these qualities, he's like 100% engaged in devotional service of the Lord. Okay, he's such a devotee. Okay, so what happens that one day he was fasting. When he was fasting, he was doing full fast. So which means the next day, when we fast, even on Ekadasi or any fasting, you have to break your fast within a certain time. like now we have Ekadasis, right? We break between from 7 something up to 11 something. So you have to break fast. Sometimes there'll be only 3 minutes to break your fast. So you have to quickly go and have something to break fast. Otherwise, your whole vow and that one, it becomes invalid. So that's how it goes. So what happens is that when he was about to break his fast, Durvasa Muni came. A Muni called by the name of Durvasa came. So Durvasa Muni is very well known for his bad temper, or a very quick temper. So one has to be very careful with him. So when he came and then he said, okay, oh, king, you want to break your fast? Okay, you know what? Can you wait for me? I want to take a bath at the river and I'm going to come and then we can break fast together. All right. So King Ambarisha also said, okay, yes, Muni, you can go ahead. I'll wait for you and stuff like that. And the Muni has gone for a long time. And the time has reached for the king to break his fast. Otherwise, his whole vow will be rendered invalid. So what happened was that because he was doing full fast, he can actually take water to break his fast. But at the same time, it will still considered as not breaking the fast. Okay, so technically it's not breaking fast, but it also can be considered as breaking fast. So what he thought, maybe I should just drink a drop of water and then wait for Durvasa Muni to come back and then we can have a feast. So what happened? He took some water and Durvasa Muni came back and he got so angry. How could you break your fast without waiting for me? You should have waited for me. And you know what he did? He's very famous for quickly cursing people. So he took a tuft of his hair and then he threw it down, and from the hair, a demon came out. So this demon started, the demon wanted to kill King Ambarisha because Durvasa Muni is such a person. He's very temperamental. Okay, so out of anger, he can do all these things. So the moment the demon came out to kill King Ambarisha, Lord Vishnu got an intercom saying that your devotee is in danger. Please, you have to go and do something. Immediately, Lord Vishnu released his Sudarshana Chakra, and Sudarshana Chakra came so fast and slashed the head of the demon. So the demon died. Next, where the chakra went? Where do you think the chakra would have gone? Yeah, when chasing the Durvasa Muni started running everywhere. He went to Lord Shiva, he went to Lord Brahma, and they say, no, this one is Lord Vishnu's chakra. You have to go to him. So like that, Lord Brahma passed to Lord Shiva passed to Lord Vishnu. And finally, he did go to Lord Vishnu. Lord, my dear Lord, please, I have offended your devotee. Please call back your Sudarshana Chakra. Then Lord Vishnu said, actually, Sudarshana Chakra is protecting my devotees. I cannot do anything. You have to ask forgiveness from my devotee. If you do anything to me, I will forgive you. But if you do something to my devotee, I cannot forgive you. So Sudarshana Chakra has to perform the duty. So he ran back to King Ambarisha, and that is the picture that you're seeing now. He actually fall flat on King Ambarisha's lotus feet, seeking forgiveness. And then King Ambarisha, of course, he felt bad about the whole thing happened, and then he stopped the Sudarshana Chakra. Oh, please forgive him. He did it out of anger whatsoever. So like that, he was so, the quality that King Ambarisha is so very noble, right? He protected Durvasa Muni. He actually forgave him. He was such a great devotee. And the point from this story is that the Lord protects those who are fully involved in his devotional service. He protects. He can take in whatever offense has been committed to him, but he will not tolerate the offenses committed upon his devotees. Okay, so that's the story. I hope you enjoyed it. Okay, so remember the story of the parrot. We are feeding the parrot in the cage to keep it alive. So we have to feed the parrot inside our body to keep it alive. Otherwise, our life will be a waste. So how do we feed the soul in the body? Not by ordinary food, but the food. Yes, prasada, the food that we cook and we offer to the Lord. We put tulasi on it, we offer. And we take that, that is how it nourishes the soul. Of course, we can fill the belly, but we are talking about nourishing the soul. So this way we can do that. Okay, so that's about it. Let's chant Maha Mantra 3 times before we end the class today. Hare Krishna. We can chant together. Okay, no problem. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Rama
Hare.
Hare Hare. One more time. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama.
Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Please get this kit. Anybody who would like to get the kit, you can tell me also. Okay, so yes, that's about it. Any questions? Okay, any questions so far? Everything okay? Was it too heavy or too fast, too slow?
Oh, it's good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
I got one small question.
Yes, Prabhu, carry on.
Earlier you said the size of the soul is 1/10,000th of a tip of a hair, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it the same for all other creatures also, all other animals and everything?
Yes, same. The size is the same for everyone. That's why I mentioned the soul is in the body as small as ant, and it also can empower size as big as elephant and mammal, things like that, whale. So the power of the soul is so inconceivable in that sense.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Hare Krishna, any more questions? Okay, if no, thank you very much. I will share the quiz. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Good night.
Hare Krishna. Good night.
Thank you.
everyone.
Tejasura. It's too long, isn't it? Huh?